Hello everyone, it's me Evil. Today we have a calmer video. So I'm going to be ranking Frieren characters, let's get into it. Here I have the tier list, I have already set up my camera and everything. So I've made some tiers, and I'm going to be rating these characters based on how enjoyable they are. At the top is Goated. These are amazing characters, amazing themes, they are exciting, interesting, amazing, it speaks for itself. Let the chess speak for itself, you know. Then we have something enjoyable. These characters, when they are on the screen, it's a delight, but it isn't anything special. Solid is, they do their job, they maybe do some things above what you would expect, but I don't have a strong attachment to them. Mid is a character that I'm okay with, but you know, it's mid. They just kinda exist there, they do their thing. Maybe they can be really enjoyable. And then Who, it's for characters I don't remember. And because I've edited the anime and I've watched a few videos on it, I actually remember these characters very well. So I think I'm going to give a pretty accurate opinion on them and what I think of them. I don't think I've forgotten a lot. But if I do forget something, or maybe some of the characters are a little wrong, don't get too offended, because this is, after all, mostly just fun, and you know, I'm just trying to do the best I can, right? So firstly, I mean, the obvious one is Frieren is easily goated. She's one of my favorite main characters. She makes this show what it is. After all, if the main character was boring, this show would probably be way worse than it is. No amount of animation or whatever else can save a Kirito from being Kirito, right? Nothing is going to change that, but with Frieren, I don't think there's a single scene with Frieren in it that I didn't like. I feel really attached to her. And I actually really love seeing her on the screen. Even though she has a lot of screen time as the main character, I don't ever mind it. One of my favorite characters in general too. On my anime list I actually picked her as one of my favorites, so I had to take out another character for that, and that's always painful. Then I'm going to put Verbal also in amazing tier, not goated, just amazing. He made the biggest jump in my expectation compared to the actual character that we got. Because Verbal, he seemed like a character set up to only fight Evill, get destroyed, embarrassed, and die. Or maybe he would be an enemy of some sort. But instead he's just this nice guy, he wants to do the best he can, so he came into this exam so that he can go back to the Northern Lands and fight there. And he wants to protect people. He subverted my expectations very well, and I really like his personality as well. Also, it was quite funny when he was literally carrying his team. I guess I could immediately transition to his team themselves. Where are they? Scarf Flower Boy. You know, I'll give him enjoyable. His discount Byakuya. He makes the flower petals into the iron and moves it. I'm pretty sure his technique is making the iron from something. It doesn't need to be flower petals, because he was able to use that technique inside the dungeon as well. When they were fighting there, he didn't really do anything in the exam. He was embarrassed in his fight against the land, and I'm pretty sure he got defeated in the fight against their clones, but he was able to slink through anyway, because Verbal was carrying them once again. Nothing special about him. He's got an interesting technique though, and I do like his design, even if he is really mid. Right, he's just an enjoyable character, I don't mind him. He's enjoyable, and yeah, I'm just repeating myself here. I guess next, someone that caught my mind is Lugna. His name means liar, and I actually really liked him. Maybe it's just because of his design. He has a very nice design, very pleasing for the eyes, with the blood manipulation and everything. The theme with him and the demons in general being introduced, it's fascinating the way that the demons act in this series, and in general it's just an enjoyable experience, right? He's not pure evil, but he's not like redeemable either. Like, he's a bad guy, but he's a bad guy as in he's like a tiger in the woods that you trying to reach out and it bites your hand. His followers weren't as interesting as him though, and because of that, where are the followers? Oh, here's Lini. I think she's the more interesting one. She's expressionless blank. Her fight, I mean, against Stark was very fun. It was funny how Stark was so afraid of her that he was barely even fighting back, even though he could have definitely defeated her. But in the fight, it was enjoyable. It went fine. She didn't overstay her welcome, and then she was defeated, and it kinda actually felt really sad when she was fading out into the twilight, just disappearing. Now where's the other guy? Do we have the... Oh, the Raht, here we go. Raht, I will say, is definitely mid. He's the guy that went to kill Frieren in the dungeon when she was being held there by Grafkananat in the town, you know, with the demons. And he's the string demon guy that went to murder her, but he could not do it because Frieren somehow protected her neck from the strings and then just sliced off his head or arm or something. No, she strangled him. She brutally murdered that guy. He didn't really do much though, and he was very mid. Like, he really thought he could take out Frieren like that. You really think that would happen? Now, Craft. I'm debating between solid and enjoyable. I think I'm gonna give it solid because in his episode he didn't make that much of an impression on me. But I have a feeling he's going to go up because of the lore he has with the statue. Because we know that he was actually a legendary warrior in the past. We don't know what he did, and we haven't seen that much of him. Honestly, actually, I'm gonna put him in enjoyable, because I just remembered the scene introducing evill, where he shows up, beats up the bandits, and then says, "No, I wasn't protecting you, I was saving the bandits from you. I could sense that you're up to no good." I guess I could immediately transition to evill. Honestly, she's insane. This is a psychopathic murder killer, okay? A very, very bad girl. Don't let her get close to you, she's going to kill you. She's the type of insane girl that people warn you not to mess with, okay? She's the type of person you cannot trust with anything. She's almost like a demon. They even said in the show, right, that she's almost a demon. I think Frieren said that. So yeah, evill is just trash. But she's enjoyable trash, and the way that she's a unique case in the magic system, because she's so insane that she believes that, okay, I'm fighting someone with hair, of course I can cut through hair. I'm fighting someone with cloth, of course I can cut through cloth. You know, that kind of stuff. It's so insane that it actually makes sense, right? It loops around to being logical again. You know, the complete opposite of what you were starting with, but she's ignoring all technique and then using pure skill. And then a land. Goated. Man, the little things we get from him are all amazing. The reveal that he was actually not even taking the exam makes him like the most badass character in the show. Like, bro just rocked up with his clones, aced that shit, risked up the crazy psychopathic girl, and walked out. And the best part is that when he shows up to Serie, she immediately recognizes like, "Hey, you're using a clone, aren't you? I can see you're drinking tea over there." And instead of panicking, he just lifts his glasses and says, "Ah, you noticed, huh?" So badass. And also, evill didn't figure out that he's using clones, so she has been following his clone this entire time. She walked off with his clone. Bro is the Rischmeister, okay? And not only that, he's so badass. So yeah, easy goated tier. Now I want to rank Method, because Mummy, she was... yeah, I like her. She's just, I don't know, when she was passing through the test with Serie, and she passed it by thinking that Serie is really cute and wanting to hug her. Amazing character. Like, bruh, you're really going to pass the exam just like that? Also, I hope I don't fill up the amazing tier too much, because I'm gonna end up having to move my own camera a little bit because of that. So, anyway, Methode, Mummy, Her voice was amazing, by the way, I remember that as well. And when she was hugging Frieren and Fern was getting pouty because of that, that was so fun. Yeah, good character. I enjoyed her on the screen the entire time. But okay, let me get into someone that I have a more controversial opinion of. Is there anyone I dislike? Well, okay, I think I've got it. I think Fern is my controversial opinion, or the most controversial opinion that I have on this show. I don't have a strong attachment to her. She's a very naturally gifted, right? And she has a very bad personality. The way that she treats everyone else, it's a little frustrating sometimes. And it reminds me of my past girlfriend as well. It gives me bad memories of dealing with that. With someone who is very emotional and doesn't really tell you what is happening, and that makes you stressed out. It is hard to deal with. I don't think she's that bad of a character, right? She's solid. As a main character, she has higher expectations. So the fact that I ranked Scaraf or Linnea or Kraft above her doesn't mean that I think they are better characters than her. But compared to their screen time and their role in the story, they are better compared to her, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does, but yeah. Also, if you're thinking what the background music is, it is Moonlight Sonata. I'm going to be editing that onto this ranking. Also, I shouldn't be going too slowly here, I don't wanna waste your time, right? Speaking of wasting time, Vol, enjoyable. What were you thinking, I would say? Basically, this old man, he's protecting this village where he's living because of the memory of his wife, but the villagers don't even remember why he's doing it anymore, because it's been like 10 generations since he died. And he's just this old, demented man. He also gives a pretty interesting hint for the world, because he mentioned that, oh, are you going to defeat the Demon King? When Frieren was talking to him in the real current time of the story, current timeline. And it got me thinking that what if there is actually a different Demon King in there and he doesn't have bad dementia? Because we know that he was playing around, pretending to be more disabled than he really is. I have a feeling that he might be onto something there, and there's definitely going to be some kind of demon lurking around in the Northern Lands, so he was hinting out at it very interestingly, while at the same time potentially being a demented old man, so it is debatable whether he was actually meaning something. And I don't know. Anyway, then Qual, I think his premise is I should say solid, because he doesn't really have much. He has the biggest impact he has on the world is Zoltrak, and every single mate in the story basically using it, or being capable of using it sometimes. So he got sealed for 50 years or 70 or whatever, and now that he was brought back, he had been outscaled. The mages had specifically crafted a spell to counter his Zoltrak, and now he could no longer be useful until he figured a countermeasure, and he wasn't allowed to because Frieren just smited him. Interesting early fight in the series, established the demons and the way that they are. He was also blatantly not evil. He was just this researcher that was obsessed with improving Zoltrak and making it the best spell ever. And then his boss was defeated, so he said, yeah, I'll take revenge on you for defeating the Demon King. A respectable guy, but probably not a very good role model for anyone. Just a solid character. Lernen, this is the learned guy. I'm gonna give him enjoyable as well. I think it was interesting that he felt insecure about his place in history, so he decided to challenge Frieren in hopes of killing her, and then Frieren immediately Dark no Jutsu'd him into not doing that, because that's stupid, bro. What the fuck you doing? What do you even think you're doing, bro? Step back. Okay, I get it, you want to be remembered and stuff, but okay, you're already remembered. You don't need to make more of a name in history, alright? Also, I'm pretty sure she's the one, or he, is the one that recognized that Frieren had this ancient mage symbol on her, and that allowed Frieren to take the exam, the mates exam. So he did have a pretty big part in the story, if you think about it. Himmel, straight into Goater tier, no questions asked. His name means heaven, and I think it is 100% accurate. Bro could risk me up in a second, okay? His relationship with Frieren is amazing. The way that Frieren is exploring her emotions by seeing things that he did and realizing how much he mattered for her in the end, but realizing that it is too late. It is so core in the story. Okay, I should move him right here. He is an amazing character. Also, I really like his design. He's got a really pleasing design. I like the hair. I like the hair color. He's got this very gentle face, right? This pretty boy face. Next up, Genau. I think this is going to be a who. I remember he is one of the mages following under Serie, but really I don't know anything about him besides the fact that he's called Genau. And I remember that he didn't realize that Frieren was as strong as he is, so he's kinda mid like that. Next up I want to put another Goater character, because then again I cannot avoid talking about him. He's another character, much like Verbal, that exceeded my expectations for them originally. He's a very complex character, and he's got this amazing veteran personality, right? Originally you might have been thinking that he's very callous and calculated and doesn't care about others, but in reality he's a tactician and he actually really cares about others. A lot like Verbal, both of them have like a problem against killing and they need to prepare themselves for it, right? He's also very calculative. In the first exam, for example, he was considering how to get through Frieren, and his goal was basically to distract her for enough time to buy time for Richter to get the bird. Actually, it was the Laufen. Yeah, that's her name, Laufen. She kinda looks like the guy from, or the girl from Sakamoto Days, right? Anyway, and also the girl from Gintama. Those three girls, they look very similar. Is it some kind of a Chinese stereotype or something? I don't know. Anyway, honestly I'm going to put him above Land. I think he's better than Land. More enjoyable as a character. Next, I guess I could rank Aura. I think Aura is solid. Frieren has one of the greatest moments in anime history against her, when she tells her to kill herself, straight up, nothing else said. Also the dub for this, I listened to it, amazing, amazing, amazing. But Aura herself, she's nothing special. She guillotines people and then puppeteers their corpses basically, and then she got defeated by being decapitated. Very fitting for her, but honestly I think she's very similar to Qual, right? Good enemies, I guess. Okay, Aura is a villain, Qual is an enemy, I'd say. But she's not that notable. Bray, boring. This is the One Punch Man looking guy that was with the girl that could like control people, if you remember in the exam, mates exam. And he got defeated by Sensei's clone effortlessly, might I add. I don't need to see him again. Doomsday is the other guy that was there. I don't remember his name, but thankfully they have the names here, so I can pretend that I do. So both of them boring, irrelevant side characters. Edel, actually, I'm gonna give her a bit of a weird. No. I'm gonna give her a solid, but her role in the story was amazing. Because we were teasing that she would be useful against Frieren, but in reality, listen up, she's not even able to get there. It was set up that she would be useful, and then they immediately subverted our expectations by her being really trash, and she couldn't even survive against Sensei's clone enough to run away. And she didn't have much of a personality, and we don't know much about her. She exists. Yeah, that's what I think. Oh, by the way, you mentioned in the comments, I am aware, Lernen is Ehre's grandpa. I should mention that. And I'm gonna give Ehre a solid ranking as well, right next to Edelu. Wow, I've got all of the girls here in solid. What the hell is going on with that? What's up here? Am I sexist? I am getting exposed right now. Anyway, Ehere, she fought against Frieren, and we saw how strong Frieren truly is through her, because she was actually really strong, but Frieren was able to overpower her with just sheer quantity of attacks. Also, I'm gonna give Fallas a who, because that's a who right there. I don't remember anything about him in the story. Berg. Berg is also gonna get a who. I'm not really sure what he did. No, actually. Mid. Berg is the guy that got split apart by evill. So this guy made this ultimate cape that could not be sliced through. And then there was an exam, and you needed to get him to step back a little bit. And evill just cut this guy in half. So... yeah, he was just there to hype up evill, right? I think he did his job, but I don't think he ever even says anything. The only thing that we know about him is that he gets shocked when he's cut in half. And Gorilla Warrior... Mid. Bro, who the fuck is named Gorilla Warrior? Although the point of that name was that he's very memorable. And he is memorable. I can immediately remember. Oh yeah, this guy is Gorilla Warrior. What does he do? We don't really know. He's the childhood friend of Sign, and we know that Sign goes to look for him. I was thinking that Sign would show up again in the arc, in the mage exam arc, after maybe finding something out about his old friend, but that is still a setup for later, so Sign is still off. And because of that, honestly, Sign is going to get a mid, I think. So he's a priest, and I was actually thinking he would be pretty clutch for the party as a healer, but so far we haven't gotten into a situation where he would have been necessary if he was there, right? Mostly because we just had one arc, the mage selection exam, mage exam. So Sign didn't show up there, and he's had very little screen time, and the screen time that he had didn't really impress me. The reason he didn't impress me is because he frustrated me. Like, bro, you're sitting around here for 10 years, not wanting to be an adventurer because you want to help your brother. But your brother doesn't need any help here, he wants you to go, and not to mention your friend has been gone for 10 years, and you've wanted to go look for him, but you're too scared to go. Also, he's obsessed with the MILFs, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not against that, you know, I don't oppose. But he did not get impressed by Frieren, which is kind of fucked up, because have you seen how cute Frieren is? Man, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Are you really into MILFs? Okay. Richter. Amazing character. Might be a bit of a controversial statement, but he's this a little bit more callous and less on the good side as a mate. He's still a decent guy, but he isn't a good guy. He was willing to kill some kids for the sake of the exam if they didn't give up. But besides that, he's a decent guy. He was willing to fix Frieren's rod, Frieren's staff when it was broken. He had a scene with Denken at the end of the arc, which I thought was really good. And his fight against the two girls that Frieren was teamed up with was good. Now, speaking about the girls, Lavine and Kane, I'm gonna rank them next to each other because they are very gay for each other. So I think Lavine is the one I like more. Her design is very good in my opinion. She's gonna get an enjoyable, and Kane is going to get a solid. So Lavine freezes and Kane controls water. So Kane has a very unique dynamic where she needs to have the rain, and then she's going to become Thanos. Like, she's going to be one of the strongest... She's going to be one of the strongest characters we've seen in the series if she fights in the rain. But if she doesn't have any water, she's the weakest mage we have seen. Weaker than Belai or Dunst, she can only defend. so very weak. They also weren't able to pass the mates exam, so I don't know if they are going to be showing up in the future. Like with Denken and Land and Verbal and Jubel and Method as well. I am sure that all of these guys are going to show up again, and I really like them all. Oh, by the way, I think I put all of the mates other than the main cast that passed the mates selection exam in Amazing or Goated. I like all of them. This is one of my favorite arcs, by the way. I know some people didn't like it that much, but as a shonen fuckboy that I am, I really like all of these fights that they had. Lagne, I think this is definitely a who. I'm not really sure who this is. I'm sure she did something, but yeah, it's not coming to my mind. Don as well. Honestly, I don't remember these two characters. Now Orden, I'm gonna give him a mid. He got killed by demons, so he can't be that strong. Or maybe he was strong. I think he did something like went 1-for-1 against a demon. I don't know, we don't really see anything about him, so he should be in mid. In my opinion, someone that doesn't really do much shouldn't be that high up. Next up, Stoltz, the brother of Stark, who I've not yet to rank, because I've been debating on where to put him, but Stoltz, I think he should go in, honestly, I really liked him. I'm gonna give him an amazing tier ranking, and I need to move my camera now, or I need to make this list smaller, like this. No, that's not a good idea. What should I do to fix this? Just make my camera smaller. It's okay, I don't think you need to see my face that much anyway. Here we go, okay. So, Stoltz, he had very little screen time, but he immediately made me emotional. And because he made me emotional, I'm gonna put him up here actually. For the amount of screen time he has, he's the best. It actually got me crying the moment when he kneeled down for Stark and encouraged him when I was thinking that he would be mean, because Stark wasn't living up to their expectations in that moment. W older brother. I always like the protective older brothers, they make me feel really happy. Because for me, my siblings are also very important, so I immediately get like a connection with them. And now I'm gonna put Stark in Goated. I was getting the Zenitsu vibe at the start, or Usopp, or King from One Punch Man. All three of those characters are very similar to him, but out of those characters I think Stark is the best coward that I've seen. Because he's afraid, but he fights back. He goes through his fears, and he doesn't whine constantly. Yes, he's afraid, he doesn't really do things as effectively as he should. Also, his little ship that he has with Frieren is nice, but he didn't do that much in the first season, so I'm not going to put him above these characters. Because frankly, I do like Land and Denken and Himmel more than him. Graf Granat, he was one of the biggest surprises as well. I was thinking he would be an idiot and just let the demons kill him, but he was actually betraying the demons the entire time, but he was just misjudging his strength and the strength of the demons. And he was also understanding for Frieren, and he was an honest king. So overall, I should put him in enjoyable. I was thinking he would be like down here, or maybe even a tier below this, but he was actually a very enjoyable character, and he's going to go into enjoyable. Next up, I'm gonna rank Serie, the biggest tsundere I've seen in anime. It was very funny how much of a tsundere she is, and how many internal inconsistencies she has with herself, right? She's very confused about what she wants to do, and what she does and what she believes in don't align. And I also like her character. She's got that aura, you know. I don't have a quantifiable reason as to why, but for some reason the way that she is a tsundere is more enjoyable for me than it is for Frieren. Frieren is less enjoyable than Serie for me. And that is definitely an unpopular opinion, and because this is the amazing tier, I'm gonna rank her I'm gonna put her here. Sensei, I think Sensei is mid or I'm gonna give her a solid because of the pacifism thing. I thought it was quite funny that she's a pacifist, but at the same time she made a test where it is definitely not very pacific. In fact, it is very Atlantic, and that was not very funny, but I just came up with a pun on the spot, so I will give a dub for myself. Alright, next up we have... what should we do? I gotta decide. I'm gonna rank these two next. Aizen, my opinion on him is not the highest. He's just this cowardly dwarf, and for some reason he was afraid of Stark when they were departing, so Stark must be really underestimating his power. So I'm gonna give Aizen an enjoyable tier. I like him, I don't mind him, I don't have a strong attachment to him, I don't really care about him that much, but if he is on the screen, it is enjoyable. So, enjoyable it is. Lofen, I'm actually going to give her the same treatment over here. I need to move my camera down, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna move it here, because I don't have that many mid characters in this tier list. Now, where was I? Yeah, Lofen, when she showed up, her fight, if you can call it that, against Frieren, it was quite funny, and her ability is interesting. She's like gathering up speed and suddenly teleporting. I think we haven't really seen her power yet, properly, but I think she's going to be relevant later on, because she was paired with Denken and got quite a bit of screen time alongside Richter. Yeah, also in the dungeon she was fighting against the clone of Mami, I think, and we saw that she can do stuff with the staff. And one of her combat scenes was actually very well animated, and I really liked it. Although I haven't seen any AMVs of it, so I think most people really didn't care about that, or they forgot. Anyway, I thought she was good. Next up, Hyder. I think I'm gonna give Hyder an amazing tier. I'm going to rank him here. With the role in the story that he had, it was interesting. I remember he was researching immortality because he wanted to live longer for Frieren. He didn't want to leave her alone. And that was a nice contrast with Frieren and the way that she felt about Himmel. Of course that didn't end up working out, but he did force Frieren to take on Frieren as an apprentice, so he plays obviously a very large role in the story, and I like his personality more than Aizen. That's why he's higher. And Flamme, I'm gonna rate her here in amazing as well. That's going to be my list here. Flamme, I don't have the strongest of opinion on her, but the scenes that she had with Serie and Frieren were amazing. And the hype up she gave Frieren, like, you need to suppress your power for 1,000 years, so that you can take these demons by surprise. Epic moment right there. My voice got actually kinda tired from this. It's interesting how I'm not a very good yappe, but I think that's going to be my final list. As you can see, there are not that many bad characters in Frieren, as you would expect from such an amazing show. So if I were to do if I was doing a rating for Demon Slayer, you would be seeing the boring tier over here, filled up quite a bit more, I think. These two guys are the only ones who are here, and both of these combined have like 2 minutes of screen time, so who gives a shit, right? Although, even they aren't bad. I originally had a lower tier, but I thought, nah, I don't have anyone that I think is like asinine or I want to remove from the story. All of them are okay in it. Oh, is this the girl, the demon girl that killed the Finnish village chief maybe? I'm not actually sure who this is. I can't remember. Let me see. Lagene. What does she do? Lagene. Frieren. I have no idea what she did. I literally have no memory of her. So I'm going to give her a who. And apparently she was a teammate of Ton, so both of them get a who mega lul. What did you guys think of the list? If you enjoyed this video, by the way, please give it a like. I really need the boost in the algorithm, okay? Also, big thanks for everyone for subscribing. We have reached 21 subscribers. In 1 month, we've gotten 15 subscribers, I'm pretty sure. And those first subscribers are the ones that are the hardest to get, as most of you probably know if you've tried doing any YouTube, so I appreciate it big time. And that's about all. Thanks for watching, see you next time. I'm not gonna extend this for longer. Yeah.